Who is Matt Bergwall, and why is he facing, 45 years in federal prison?
Matt Bergwall is facing 45 years. He's 21 years old for a number of crimes. I mean, basically the headline is hacking and computer conspiracy. But he's just an apex Zoomer, like hustled grind set legend from Darien, Connecticut, who went to the University of Miami to study computer science and finance. And somewhere along the line was like, I don't want to go work at Google. I want to be the boss of my, little empire. And he found he found himself in a kind of seamy underbelly world of fraud that has emerged over the last decade or so, based on basically getting free shit from retailers, which I think, I alluded to this in the piece, like we've all done a bit of it, right? Like you order something on Amazon, you say it never arrived, you get the money back. I think a lot of people have done that one way or another.
I do. Yeah. By the way, that's called gaslighting when you do that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. And but what these kids do is they sort of industrialize that and scale it up. And what he is alleged to have done by the federal government is hacked into a UPS employee, a number of UPS employees' accounts, allowing him to change the delivery status of a package, basically. So it's like you say, I ordered this laptop from Apple, and he just goes in and changes the status from delivered to never arrived, then somebody can just claim the refund. He is alleged to have processed 10,000 returns this way, $5 million of product. So you're just kind of in like big baller territory there as far as like the justice system. So 45 years is like, it's pretty hefty, but
there's a name for this kind of scheme, right?
Yeah, generally the broad category is called refunding fraud.
It's interesting because I definitely know. I mean, that's the classic trick, is that like if you want your mattress for free from Amazon, I don't think this works anymore, but a bunch of people I know did this, and this is not in line with what we're talking about today. This is not financial advice, but a bunch of people I know in the past have, or several people I know in the past have essentially told Amazon that the mattress is whatever, there's something wrong with it, and because it's so large, Amazon's like, you can't return it, and so they just got it for free. I don't think that works anymore.
That happened to me once where Amazon accidentally delivered something wrong to me, like something that I didn't order. It was like for someone else, and it was like a car part that was like massive.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was.
What?
And I was like, can you guys like take this? And they're like, no, just keep it. And I'm like, no, but I don't want it. Yeah. And so then I got to sell it on Craigslist.
Interesting.
And I made a little money.
Wow.
So I guess I have participated.
So this fellow was the scheme kind of relies on not just lying to Amazon, but it relies on actually having someone on the inside or access to the account of someone on the inside at UPS.
Yeah, and nowadays, I mean, he allegedly hacked into a UPS account, but a lot of it is actually coming from, people who work for these logistics companies will approach the scammers themselves and be like, hey, you break me off a piece of whatever you're making, I'll do this for you. Because they're kind of aware of the money that can be made.
And this is all kind of happening on like Telegram, Discord, 4chan.
Yeah, it started out in the early 2010s, kind of alongside the rise of just online retail, and that was more kind of in forums and like Reddit. But now it's a lot of it's happening on these sort of like these platforms that are all like kind of anonymous live chat apps that a lot of young people use. Telegram, probably the biggest one. I'm sure it's all over Discord as well. And you can find public channels on Telegram with like thousands and thousands of people just discussing this.
So what he did is he sold these services to other people too, right?
Yes, that was actually primarily what he was doing. He was offering fraud as a service to other people who were then actually going out and finding, like the way that it works is like, let's say you're just some guy and you want a free laptop.
Yeah.
You can go to a channel on Telegram that's like offering refunding, and you just buy the laptop, give them the tracking number, they'll handle all of it, and you'll be able to get your money back, and you just give them 15% of the ticket price.
Wow.
So those channels, which are the ones that are kind of customer facing, are going out and hiring Matt Bergwall, somebody like Matt Bergwall's channel with back-end access. So in order to actually do that return for them.
So there's like 4 or 3 different people involved in this, right?
Yeah,
Or I guess
and everyone's
4.
yeah.
You have like the customer, then you have the service that gets the customer, the front-facing thing, which is in turn hires Matt Bergwall,
Yeah.
who in turn either hires somebody or has somebody at UPS.
Yeah.
Interesting. And everybody gets like a percentage of it. There's like middlemaning kind of goes down to the end there.
I think it was also what's so interesting in your piece is like you say like he had employees. Like he was like kind of creating a real business here, even though it's like a weird sort of in mirror world, fraud world where it's completely fraudulent. But it's not as if he's simply like just cutting himself in or making these deals just with people. Like he like had a like legit, not legit, but like he had a little like organizational structure and people that he had hired and kind of was, fashioned himself and clearly thought of himself as a kind of entrepreneur who was creating a sort of, a small business for himself.